Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 5 of the Lola's Life podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today. After a few short words from our sponsor, we will get right into today's episode. So today we're going to talk about what it means to be frugal. I definitely consider myself a frugal person. I try and be as frugal as I can, and I am constantly watching YouTube channels and listening to podcasts and reading books to try and get more ideas on how to be a more frugal person because I really just love it. It's just something I'm really excited about. I try and be as frugal as I can in my life and how our family lives. So just to start off, what is frugal? People often associate being frugal with being cheap, but being frugal absolutely is not being cheap. Someone that's cheap buys the cheapest item no matter what at all costs, as long as it's the cheapest option they can find, and it might be junk. So it's really a waste of money if you're buying something that's garbage just because it's cheap and then you have to keep rebuying it. People that are frugal are intentional with their money. So, every dollar that you spend, you're making sure you get the best value and use for that money. So it's more about what's important to you. So you might choose to spend less money on certain things and spend more on other things that are more important to you. For example, I recently we still buy paper towels, but we use them much, much less frequently because I felt like I was spending so much money on paper towels just because that's what we had always done. So I bought cloth napkins to keep in the kitchen, and we use them for pretty much all meals, and I even use them to wipe up something on the counter and then just toss it in the laundry. I know some people have said, it creates more laundry. I don't know. It doesn't for me. I just throw them in with our regular laundry. I haven't seen any impact on that. But for me, it wasn't really important to have paper towels constantly being gone through in the way that we were using before. And it wasn't important to me to use a paper towel for all those different reasons. I'm just fine using a cloth napkin. So that's taking that money now that we were spending on paper towels. We're a family of 5. And so it was a lot. And being able to put that to a different use. So it's kind of prioritizing your money and being intentional with where everything goes. So totally not being cheap. Some other things frugal people do is maybe cooking at home. A lot of people spend a lot of money eating out, and it's so much more affordable to eat at home. If eating out is important to you, then that's fine. Then you would do that as a frugal person because you would be saying, this is what I really want to do with my money, so that you would have to cut back somewhere else. And you're spending your money on what's important to you. So, but for example, cooking at home, maybe if you are someone that does eat out a lot and you decide you want to go away for a long weekend, but you don't have the money for it, well, then you could say, all right, well, this week we're going to cook at home because we want to be able to use this money to go away for a long weekend. So it's things like that. It's really just all about being intentional with your money, choosing how you want to spend it, and knowing where all your money's going, having a budget, keeping track of where your money's going, not just having your paycheck come in and at the end of the week say, oh my gosh, where did it all go? We keep a budget. We know exactly where everything went. I'm constantly on my spreadsheet updating where every single dollar went. I really love it. It's something I love doing. So thankfully for me, it's something that I really enjoy, keeping track of the budget, making sure we know where all our money was used and that we're making the best use of it for us. Some other examples, we went to Universal Studios, I guess it was about a year and a half ago, my family, and we really wanted to stay at the Hard Rock Hotel because we had stayed there once, I don't know, probably 10 years before. And we really, really loved it. We loved being able to walk right to the theme parks, and we loved being able to use their it's like Universal's version of Fast Pass. I forget what they call it, but you could basically just walk on any ride. And if you stay at those certain resorts, that's included in your stay. So it's kind of expensive to stay there, But since that's what we really wanted to do, we prioritized our money towards that, and we didn't eat at as many expensive restaurants while we were on vacation. We did like a lot of counter service meals, and then we just kind of prioritized a couple of more formal sit-down dinners so that we could really save on the food costs and be able to put that money towards staying at the resort that we really wanted to stay at. So, another thing we did was we cut cable probably, it's got to be like 4 years ago now, I think. It was just actually, I called the cable company because I got a letter in the mail saying our promotion was expiring. So I called them to find out what the bill was going to be the next month and see if there was any more promotions available. And they told me it was too soon to find out. And I was like, it's too soon. It's next month. How can you not tell me what my bill is going to be next month, a month early or a month before? And I don't know, whatever. I said, get me a manager so I could talk to them. I said, I want to cancel. And the guy just said, okay, we'll cancel. So I was kind of stunned by that. I wasn't expecting that response. I was expecting that they'd get someone to try and offer me a deal. But anyway, they didn't. And we said, okay, we canceled. And our intention was that as soon as we wanted it back, we would just call back and see what offer they had and add it back. And we never even got it back. So that clearly wasn't a good use of our money, although we thought it was, but it was something that we really didn't even care about. So it's really just thinking about everything you have coming in, and making sure that you are putting your money where you want it to go. And it just feels so much better when you're spending money when you know that that's what it was intended on, and you don't have that feeling that the end of the week's going to come and you're not going to have any idea what happened to the money. So, so basically some of the things, just to kind of summarize, I guess, some things to practice to become more frugal is definitely putting together that budget, meal planning so that you know what you're having so that you're not tempted to eat out if that's not something that you want to spend your money on. Having a plan for your meals is always a major benefit, because it's so easy to come home and not know what you're going to cook for the day and then just say, all right, well, let's just order out. So to me, I feel like meal planning is so important in being frugal. Saving up for things, even if you just put a little bit aside here and there for certain things you might want to do, even something as small as going out to the movies or, going out to dinner, whatever. If you save up for it, it just feels so much better when you go out and you already had the money put aside for that. It's also, clothing, like buying secondhand clothing is huge for frugal people, because you can get really good quality stuff for a fraction of the cost. So that's what being frugal is to me. I definitely will do more episodes on this because it's something I'm really passionate about. And I love budgeting. I love meal planning. I just love all that kind of stuff and trying to make the best with the money that we have. So hopefully you like that too. And hopefully maybe I shared an idea that might be helpful to you, or at least introduce you to the concept of frugality and kind of what it means. So that's it for today. And I hope you have an awesome day. And thank you so much for listening.